welcome to Sound Bites. I'm your host, Holly Whitfield from the Daily Memphian. I'm here with Amy and Hayes McPherson of Comeback, a local beverage company. We're going to get into that, don't worry. Thank you both for being here.
Yes, happy to be here.
This week, we're going to talk with Hayes and Amy about how their beverage business is booming 6 months or so after they closed their Pinch District Cafe Comeback Coffee. Then we're going to get the lowdown on coffee sodas, canning Memphis water, roasting coffees, a bunch of other stuff. It's going to be really fun. Some surprise questions, as always. But first, listener, I am semi-legally required to tell you that Soundbites is the Daily Memphian's weekly food podcast. It's a part of our free podcast series. Did you hear that? It's free to listen to each episode. You can catch them on WYXR Radio Thursdays at 11 a.m. You can look up Daily Memphian Soundbites on the interwebs and subscribe to the pod feed on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can even stream those episodes at dailymemphian.com. I will try not to whisper anymore. But that is enough of that. Let's get going with Amy and Hayes. How is the day going so far? I heard you just got back in town last night.
Yeah, so half of our team was in Washington, D.C. For a big coffee festival. And so one of the, I guess, like the big transitions with what we're doing now is giving us a lot more freedom to go do things and take what we do here in Memphis and go spread them nationwide. So we were at a big coffee festival in DC and spreading the good news of Memphis coffee. So
love it.
Yeah.
Y'all have an amazing story, honestly. It's like a love story, a business story, a Memphis story, a restaurant story.
Of course.
It's something that like the Daily Memphian and other media have covered sort of from the beginning, step by step with you guys, from cafe opening, launch of Comeback, the beverage company, cafe closing. There's a plant shop somewhere in there. There's a pandemic. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff.
We don't have to go fully all of the way through it, but something that y'all have been posting some kind of reflective and things and sharing some insights that you've gained like 6 months out from the cafe closing, like on your Instagram. Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but in light of that and your kind of reflective mood, I'm assuming you're in, I'd love to kind of hear you just tell your story, like a little short version from the beginning and let people kind of hear the encapsulated version from you.
I guess how beginning do you want to go?
That's the question, right?
Yeah, how did you meet? How did you meet? And
so like very beginning.
You were born. No, I'm just kidding.
Almost though, right? Like kind of.
We were 12.
Yeah, so Amy and I met when we were 12. We're both born and raised Memphians. This is home for us. And so we met when we were kids. We started dating at 16.
I wasn't allowed to date until I was 16.
Yeah. And so I hung out until then. And so started dating at 16. We got married at 21, moved back to Memphis from where we were at in college. And then jumped into coffee and started the business and started Comeback Coffee, the coffee shop. And it's just kind of rolled from there all the way. That's the quick summary.
Very abbreviated summary.
That's fine. So
For sure.
What year did the cafe open?
2018.
So that's 2018. And then tell us about the plant shop, because I asked my personal Facebook friends, I always like am posting on my personal Facebook stuff about this podcast, and was like, what questions do y'all have? And a lot of people were like, we don't have any questions. We just want to send our love, which was very sweet.
Very
and a couple people were asking about the plants.
Yes.
So what do they mean? Why are they asking about plants if you're
so
a coffee shop?
After, let's see, I guess it was during the pandemic, actually. One of our baristas, Kylie, we had started talking. The space next door, 356, became available. And it was in talks to be like a lawyer's office or something else. And Kylie and I are both very like, we care about buildings and like bringing back life to these old historic buildings. And the Pinch just needed more activation of like actually getting customers and doors, having things accessible to the public, because there's a lot of office space down there, but not so much retail.
Right.
So we started talking about what we think would be great to add in Memphis, things that we were kind of lacking in, and we landed on like a home goods and plant store. So we ended up converting that space to be that, just a very small, tiny storefront for a while. It was known as Golden Hour. And then a few years in, Kylie had to step away due to some health issues. And I guess that was like about a year and a half ago.
Right.
I changed it to be greenhouse. And we used the front of the production facility to be an actual greenhouse space, which was that beautiful entrance that you went into where it was all the sunlight and all the plants in that room. But it was a great time. We loved it. It was good while it lasted, but it was just one of those things that when we started, surprisingly, in the pandemic, it was great.
Everybody
Yes, everyone was into plants. Everyone was trying to make their spaces inside feel homey and warm. And it was just one of those things that everybody was into. And it was great when we first started. But over the years, like most retail in America, really, things just kind of tapered with just kind of the recession and everything going up price-wise. It just got really hard to maintain.
A plant store.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really fun. I could probably talk to you a lot about plants
Yes.
because in the last couple of years, I've become like, I always had like, I killed all my plants.
Yeah.
But I've kept several plants alive for like 2 years now.
Nice.
And then I have like
That's
a little,
great.
I now have a little fleet in my
Okay.
house. And I'm like very concerned about them all of the time.
Well, you can
I'm,
always
like,
ask me
trying different
questions.
things. But
I'm here for it.
Thank you. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm going to try to keep
I can
myself
be a resource.
on track. I'm going to try to keep us on track. So let's talk about, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but you closed the cafe earlier this year, but you had already launched and had kind of a good foothold for your beverage company, which is canning Memphis water, sparkling water, and coffee sodas.
Yeah.
And what else? What all is encompassed in the beverage company?
Yeah. So we kind of we like to put this like umbrella over it. We call ourselves a coffee company because we do have so many like pieces to it, I guess. So we're a coffee roaster. So we do everything in-house on that front and stock a lot of like local folks here in Memphis as well. And then we have the coffee sodas, which really was like the beginnings of what we're in now. So like comeback beverage, that side of things started with the coffee sodas because it did really well for us at the cafe. It was like arguably our best seller on our menu, and kind of like taking it back a little bit, we started to can it during pandemic as we were kind of pivoting as a business.
Right.
And then it just got like more and more insane for us.
The demand got really high, and we were trying to figure out, okay, how can we meet the demand and not lose the traction of the demand, which it took a really long time to get there. And thankfully, the demand has grown with us growing. But everybody wanted it in cans, like across the nation. And we're like, we got to take some time because we went from literally making it in our kitchen to the comeback kitchen and then another space. And then now we're finally in this manufacturing space now. But it's taken a long time to go from making syrups by, literally taking strawberries and making syrups like that to, okay, how do we make this in large batches? Yeah. So it's taken years to get there, but we're here.
And that warehouse, that facility is still like near where the cafe was.
2 buildings down. Yeah. Just 2 buildings down from where we were. So
right behind where the actual greenhouse was all of our manufacturing space. Yeah. Right there.
That's amazing. Okay. How many cans are y'all canning a week?
Oh,
is there any kind of numbers to give us a sense of scale?
Thousands at this point.
So we're doing both private label as well. We're doing private label and our own stuff. So it can look anywhere from a minimum of like 500 cans to probably like 6,000 on like our craziest week right now.
6,000 to 8,000 on like the craziest weeks. We're we built out this facility, and I think maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we're pretty unique in our space because there's not many places in Memphis, really in the South, that have the capability to brew things outside of beer, basically. And so we built that space because we're not an alcohol product, we're not alcohol brands, and we could not find anybody to produce this to scale. So we built it ourselves. And so this has allowed us to like create a space where we get to grow with it and we get to do our projects like the sparkling water and the coffee sodas, and we have a few other things in the mix. And we get to also work with other people who want to do the same thing but don't have the access to go to these big markets to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to produce. And so, that space is, I know it's special. And the fact that it still gets to, be in the pinch and be close to our neighborhood that we've loved all these years is a cool piece to it too. So
I'm looking at your website. Yeah. I mean, just because I don't want to miss anything. You've got coffee soda. You've got a field day flavor that's strawberry and lime. You've got Southern style flavor that's lemon and thyme. I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
But it does.
We have carbonated water. Okay, this is the moment for this stuff though.
Yeah.
Like this is what people want to be sipping. But what the heck is it? Like, what is a coffee soda?
Yeah, this is my favorite.
If you don't, I know, I saw it was on your FAQs,
Yes.
and like, I know, but if people don't know.
100%. And most people don't know, right? That's the thing.
You have to explain it.
Yeah, absolutely. So coffee soda, and this is, everybody makes fun of me for this because this is my pitch. And this is what I did all weekend long in DC. But it's exactly what it sounds like. It's coffee base. We do ours a little bit different. We call it flash chilled. And so we just brew hot and immediately chill it. So it makes it almost tea-like. And then we add flavor to that and carbonate. So it makes it this like really sweet world in between coffee and what you might expect from a coffee beverage, but also it does live in the soda world a little bit more. And those flavors that like what you just mentioned, they aren't the traditional, what people think of coffee when they hear coffee drinks.
Right.
You think mostly like chocolate or caramel or milky type things, which is great, right? Like we love those types of drinks, but coffee starts off as a fruit. It's a cherry. And so it like works really well with fruity type of like profiles. So that's like the quick summary of like what a coffee soda is.
What's like the closest thing that people might have tried? Or is that just kind of impossible?
I mean, the closest thing that you'd be able to get in a cafe, and it still will be pretty different, would be like a coffee tonic or what some people know as a Sproke, which is a Coke with espresso. That is probably going to be your closest thing. But because most people are using espresso or cold brew, typically it tastes pretty wildly different.
Yeah.
Very like strong coffee typically. Where like ours, we kind of like relate it to other beverages that might be a little bit more familiar that aren't coffee based. So our lemon and thyme one, Southern style, I think it tastes like an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
I think that's
what
the best
I'm
way to describe
imagining
it,
in my taste buds right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Fill Day is more similar to like a juice box. So that's like why we call it Fill Day. It's like something you would have as a kid on Fill Day. So that's kind of like more what we try to like point people to when describing coffee soda.
Yeah, it's really closer to a soda with an addition of like high quality coffee on the back end. And typically when people sip it, they get like that nice acidity in the fruit, and then they have all the kind of coffee flavor come through on the back. But yeah, it's a really nice balanced drink.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How does the caffeine in that compare?
Yes,
to
that is my question.
Fair question.
Yeah, so it's about, right now from our testing, we're showing anywhere from about 80 milligrams to 100 milligrams, depending on the flavor, because our recipes are different for each coffee soda. So right now that's where we're at. We're about to be testing 2 more flavors, actually. So I'm not totally sure where those land, but they are probably very similar.
So in a 12-ounce can, it's 6 ounces of coffee that's in there. So it's like a small cup of coffee, basically. Yeah. It's enough of like a little bit of a kick, but we're not trying to, out-compete Monster or like these other energy drinks that are like 200, 250 milligrams of caffeine, right?
Like you will get the caffeine, but it's not going to make you feel crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I need. That's about right for me.
It's like the perfect like lunchtime pick-me-up is like what we try to like push for. So have it like with your sandwich, have it in the afternoon, and like you can still go to sleep at night, but it'll carry you through the rest of the day.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about your coffee roasting, the side of that business, but we're about at the middle here. I wanted to remind folks that they're listening to the Daily Memphian Soundbites podcast with me, Holly Whitfield. We're talking with Hayes and Amy McPherson of Comeback. If you're listening right now on WYXR, stay tuned for the Sidebar podcast with Daily Memphian CEO Eric Barnes. A little tiny bit of housekeeping I'll do now. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were learning to read and you had those books on tape, but they also came with a book? I remember I had these picture books, little cassette tape. I'm reading along. I'm like looking at the pictures. Okay, well, we do that for Soundbites. Not really, but kind of. It's not exactly the same because it's not read along. it's more like a read also. Really what I'm trying to say is I do a write up, a little story that goes with each episode that you can find at dailymemphian.com with photos, more commentary. You don't even have to put your email address in to read it anymore. We've unlocked all of the stories that go with these podcasts. How about that? Okay, enough housekeeping. Let's talk about the roasting. Where do you source your coffee beans? You're roasting it and you're supplying a lot of local shops and a lot of local like cafes and places that people really love. Actually, before you answer that, I'm going to go back because I wanted to just kind of share this post that you all had put up. I'm just going to read like a part of it.
Yeah.
You posted, in April, we made the hard decision to close our cafe doors to focus on what was doing well, our roasting and our beverages. Our hearts have never been more full than to see so many shops succeed and grow while using our roast and beverages for their clientele. We've been extra hard at work for the past 6 months, and we've seen the fruits of our labor. And then you gave a great thank you to everybody. And like, I think Natalie, producer Natalie Vengendi and I were both really like just that caught our eye, and we wanted to have you on. And your name has been popping up recently as we've interviewed, for example, the owners of JoJo's Espresso. And at a time you were working with Barksdale to provide their coffee. I know Byway Coffee, the truck that people will like wait in line for 1,000 years for to get their coffee, all use your coffee. So thank you for letting me set that up. But back to my question, like where you get your coffee, how's the roasting going?
Roasting's great. So the roasting side of things, like we fought for years.
We actually promised ourselves that we would never get into roasting.
We swore we were never going to do it. It was just beyond like our capabilities. Like we didn't have interest in it. There were other people doing it really well nationwide. And so we fought for a while, but it ended up kind of like starting off as like a business. It sounds gross, but this was like a very business money thing of like, we can save a little bit of cash on our coffee sodas. And so what if we just do it for that? And then our team was like, okay, well, if we're going to do it, like let's actually do it and let's put a menu together and, you know, put the offerings out and let's just see what happens. And so that's kind of what started it. And, you know, at the time I think only worked with like 3 coffees at that point. It was pretty minimal. But over the past year or so, and really the past 6 months, we now get coffee from Colombia, Guatemala, Mexico, Ethiopia. I'm trying to think anything else. We try to cycle pretty frequently. Right. And, you know, obviously with the current climate of the world and with tariffs and everything else, we're constantly on our feet as well of trying to figure out what makes the most sense. Byway actually posted a really fun video of us kind of like cutting through changing one of their like main coffees that they use because things are getting expensive and things are changing. And so
and with it being an agricultural product, the farmers, you know, they have this amount of product that you can buy some of it and hold it for a little bit, but then once it's gone, it's gone. So when we go through a certain coffee, you know, then we have to find a good replacement of something either closer to what the client wants. So that was what we had to do with Byway's coffee. Yeah.
So we just kind of floated with it, and you know, we have a pretty like selective system that we have when sourcing new coffees to ensure that it tastes the way we want it to taste and provides the experience that we want for our, you know, our group of folks, both from like a retail standpoint and then also wholesale of who we work with here in Memphis. So that list of folks that like you mentioned is just a few. I mean, Pharmacy Coffee in Bartlett that just opened up not too long ago. They carry us as well. And so we try to find coffees that fit each group individually as it comes. So, yeah.
It feels like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it felt like for years there was only like 1 or maybe 2 roasters in Memphis.
Definitely.
There's like J. Brooks or like, you know, whatever you get at the Cisco, like what I'm talking about, like from your restaurant.
For sure.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what you got to do sometimes. But how has that scene changed? Or like you know, how have you know, how's it different from 5 years ago?
Yeah. I think it's a lot different from 5 years ago.
Are there a lot of people doing this now? Or
surprisingly, yes, actually. Right. So yes, Jay Brooks was like, we kind of consider them like the godfather of coffee in Memphis. They've been around for a while and have been everywhere. And so a lot of it, especially like breakfast places, like, you know, I'm trying to think like Sunrise uses them, right? And so they're great folks that are running that and have been kind of like laying the groundwork in Memphis for us. But now, so it's us. I know that Bell Tower Coffee is roasting now as well. So they just started that fairly recently. We have Dr. Beans, who is roasting, has been roasting for the past few years. We have Coffee Black is a notable, I mean, when I say notable, I mean literally like was noted as one of the best coffee roasters in the world.
Yes.
Through a couple of different competitions. And so we have them, and then smaller ones even, Naaman over at Rigby Roasters, who is like kind of connected to Boycott in that space.
Yes.
He roasts, and he's doing like very micro roasts and these crazy specialty roasts.
He has some amazing coffees.
Yeah. So we have like the full spectrum of folks that are doing things a little more traditional and really like high scale. And then you have folks like Naaman who are doing like very like specialty things for a very small group of people. And, you know, I think that we're kind of in between all of those to, at this point, come back in its entirety, both beverages and coffee. We're in over 250 places nationwide at this point. And Memphis has just kind of like supported that. And, you know, we've had a great support system here. And so, but we're kind of in that in between of like Jay Brooks and Rigby Roasters, right? Both of offerings, and then
you're not doing one bean at a time.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. For sure.
And we have some really like kind of progressive coffees, like co-ferments, but then we also have some like really basic coffees. One that we call our Wayho blend that like Barksdale's uses. That's your more classic diner coffee. So we have a full spectrum of what kind of coffee you can get from us, from like super, super specialty to that kind of like next step up from Folgers.
Yeah.
But you know that you're paying people well through the whole process.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
My favorite, oh man, right now, so we just got an Ethiopian Guji, and it's an anaerobic coffee. It's really good. It's, I would say, probably the most like just good staple coffee that we've had in a while. I would say our Costa Rica was that. But this is probably my new favorite that we've gotten. It's just solid.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's also shout out to Coffee Black.
Yes, we got to source from them for that.
They sourced it directly from Ethiopia, brought it in a couple containers. And so we were hanging out over in their space and we were searching for a new coffee, and they were like, here, we've got lots of bags of it. So if you want some, let's do it. And so it's been a fun like kind of collaboration there that we've been able to work on with them. But it's a good
It's
coffee.
really good.
What's your favorite?
It's a hard question. I would say I love our Wayho coffee because it is the most approachable of what we do. There's something about a diner coffee, like I think a lot of people look at places like Waffle House and they look at the coffee and it's kind of like a faux pas in the specialty coffee world,
Right.
to enjoy, you know, coffee that's been sitting in a pot for like 8 hours, right? But I don't know, there's something nostalgic about that. There's something that feels good about it and tastes good, you know, but like, there's
in
something
that
special.
really
I don't know.
thick ceramic mug.
There's something really nice about it. And so what we tried to do is we took that kind of like idea and those experiences and we created our own version of it, and it's like an elevated version of that diner style coffee. So really approachable, very nutty, very chocolatey. But again, like we're ensuring that farmers are being paid well, and it's not like dirt cheap, and it's also not just sludge, basically.
Right. Do you drink it black?
So I think I'm gonna make a confession.
Fun fact here.
And I don't think I've ever made this confession publicly, but as a coffee owner, I can't drink coffee
At all.
at all. I get very sick if I drink coffee. So I have to like treat it kind of like I'm like wine tasting, and so I have to like sip and spit.
Oh my gosh.
But this is like something I've never talked about publicly.
Yeah.
And so I was afraid that people would view me as like not a good coffee shop owner if they knew.
But now you have the cred, like
Yeah, right?
Also,
I know.
sad for you.
Isn't it the worst, right? I know. And so I get to like, I sample all of our coffees. I am constantly sipping them and we're doing quality control on them, but I can never like fully drink any of our coffees.
But it speaks to how much you love the industry and how much you love the product itself. The fact that you can't even consume it, but you literally, you have a whole business around it. So I feel like that speaks volumes about it.
That's wild.
I found that out in college. first started working in coffee, and then but yeah, I love the industry too much. So
I drink
It's a
enough
lot.
for him.
Okay. Yeah. Do you drink
I
it black
make up
or
for
like
it.
all different ways?
I drink it all different ways. My favorite is a classic latte.
Yeah.
I just love it. But yes, I will drink it black every once in a while. But a good iced latte is my absolute favorite way to drink it, honestly. Yeah.
Is it the ice like clinking around in the glass? And
Yeah.
it's just like kind of milk. I don't know.
You can just drink it faster too.
Yeah. I think if you're
enjoyable.
I think people born between 1985 and 1995,
Yeah.
it's like we get some sort of special power
Yeah.
from.
From a
I'm
little.
barely included in that, but so we get some kind of special power from
Right.
a nice latte.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I love that. You spoke about a collab, with Coffee Black.
Mm-hmm.
You've done other collaborations in the past in different ways, including the original Kinfolk pop-up, I think, was that comeback.
Yeah.
I think I was there for that.
Yeah.
That was fun. You worked with Groovy Gratitude. They're like juices, smoothies, and kind of healthy food. If you could do another collaboration on a drink or food or anything with somebody in Memphis, a brewer, a chef, let's put it into the universe.
Yeah, let's put it out there.
If you can.
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
It's really good.
I think I'm going to keep this one I'm not going to say names
Okay, that's okay.
because we've talked about it,
Uh-huh.
but we need to finalize it. But there is a restaurant group here in Memphis. They definitely know who they are. And they want to do canned sweet tea.
Yeah.
And I really want to make that happen. I want to actually work through that one because one, we love sweet tea. It's a very Southern thing. It fits this group really well and what they do. And so I'll do that. I would love to work with Wiseacre.
Yeah.
And so that's putting that one into the universe a little bit.
Wiseacre, cacao.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it. So because they already do the canned cold brew right now. Let's make it Memphis, right? All the way through. So I think it'd be fun to do something with them. But that's me. I don't know about you.
I'm trying to think. What you've listed is already good. I don't know. I think it'd be really fun. Okay, this is kind of taking it out there a little
Do
bit.
it. Yeah. Blast
This
off.
is outside of food and bev, but I would love to do some sort of collab with Where is Frances?
Yeah.
Because I have been obsessed with her artwork for forever, and I think it would be so sick to have her art on a can somehow. What goes in that, I have no idea, but I just think that would be an insane packaging project, which is obviously my side of things. I'm on the art world side of things more so.
You designed the whole look for all the products and everything for comeback, and so
that
would be a great
That
collab.
would be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, just a dream.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she has plenty of time to listen to this. No, just kidding. I will be tagging her
Wonderful.
Let's make sure everybody hears about it.
in every episode post.
Love it.
That's amazing. I have to get y'all's recommendations for Memphis eats and drinks. Where do you like to go when you go out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got a full list of places
We've
that
got
we
a full
send
list of
people
places
to.
for sure. So can we break it down? Can we do multiple?
Yeah, break it out.
Okay,
Maybe
great.
best date night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say let's do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, yeah.
So breakfast, Bark Sales, so happy that they're back. We live in Midtown, so just to have the neighborhood breakfast spot back is incredible.
We can literally walk there.
Obviously, I have a soft spot for Kinfolk, right? And what they're doing. And so we're excited for them to be doing Sundays, but then for them to get back to it fully. Lunch, what would you say?
I guess we're keeping it in the family with them, but Hard Times has nailed it. We were lacking sandwiches, and I know they've been talked about a ton, but there's a reason. They're sourcing quality ingredients, providing a crazy quality sandwich. It's just so good. I could go every single week. I would say that's a favorite for me.
Yeah, and then dinner, we love Amelia Jeans and want to shout them out 1,005 times. What they're doing over there is incredible. And so, especially on the fine dining side of Memphis, which I feel like people don't think Memphis and think fine dining. I think that's always been a struggle. And so Amelia Jeans has nailed it.
What should I order when I go there?
So one, rotating menus, which is always
So whatever
exciting.
they got.
So really whatever they got, right? You can always trust it. Nate is incredibly is a talented chef.
Yeah.
So everything what he does there. Jessica on the service side of things, I think that's what
Amazing.
separates them from just about everybody else in the South even, is that when you go, it's like the full experience, right? It's not just the food. It's, you feel like you're supposed to be there, like it's home. And that's hard to find, especially in fine dining, right? And so Nate and Jessica, they're crushing it.
But
really
like, anything that you get is going to be
you can
great.
trust anything there. And the Tonica.
We love going to Tonica for a date night. It's just, I don't know, being in little midtown neighborhood, it's quiet. Like the neighborhood folks go there. It's just a good vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the big giant goblets of tasty beverages.
I also feel like we're the youngest people there every single time.
Which is
so it's almost like
fun,
familiar about it, right? Like, I don't know, there's something about like my grandparents or my parents would go and hang out there, and so I feel surrounded by like loved ones, even though I don't know anybody there. So yeah, we're big fans of Tonica.
Well, this is a great list. I really appreciate it.
Good.
Thank you for that. I always love getting, like, if people have time to go out at all. But when you do, where you support locally. So that's amazing. So thank you so much. This is about all of the time that we have. This has been a great conversation. Before we go for real, like, what's next? Are there any new flavors? Anything you want to drop on the podcast? We've been dropping news on some of these episodes.
Y'all have really, new locations and everything else. It's been crazy.
We've got new stuff to drop.
We have 2 new flavors being released, which is really exciting. We have next month, we're releasing our Cola coffee soda, which we're really excited about. So it's one of our more interesting flavors that we've done, a little bit more traditional. And so we're excited about that one. That launches next month. And so got that coming out. We have our seasonal fall winter one, which is cranberry Sprite. I don't know if that's trademarked, so maybe lemon lime is what we should say.
Cranberry lemon lime.
Cranberry Sprite.
Yeah, exactly. We have that coming out. We're rotating coffees all the time on that. We're launching some new incense as well.
If you came to Greenhouse and you smelled the wonderful smell that was in there, we're bringing back that incense underneath the Comeback kind of lifestyle brand. So it will actually be available probably at the end of this week to purchase.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
And then there's a couple really cool projects happening like in the underground of Memphis Coffee right now, which is like really cool. Not us. We're not opening another location. So I want to make sure.
Don't speculate.
But there's some cool film stuff happening that's going to be showcasing Memphis Coffee specifically and 2 like very large media outlets. And I think both of those things are being filmed this month. So we get to be part of both of those actually in some capacity. So we're excited about that too. I can't talk about too much.
Really,
yeah, sure.
But
well, thank you for sharing.
So we're just gonna look out for it because I think Memphis Coffee is a really special thing, and we're excited for that to be kind of like pushed nationally. So
it's amazing. Well, thank you, Amy and Hayes, so much there from Comeback. That's all the time that we have. You can tune in to Soundbites on WYXR Radio Thursdays at 11. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks again, and bye-bye.